Hey guys, this is God of Politics, and welcome back to a brand new video. But before we get started, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, and join the Discord. I'll have both of those linked down in the description. But today we are going to be talking about the Wisconsin primary. The results came out yesterday, Monday, and the election was last Tuesday, but the results didn't come in until today. There was a lot of mail-in voting, absentee voting that was up until today. And as you can see, in terms of the Democratic primary, we can see that Joe Biden beat Bernie Sanders, obviously, by a substantial margin. This was before Bernie Sanders dropped out. And if you compare this to 2016, in 2016, Bernie won every single county in Wisconsin. Joe Biden didn't just win, he won every single county this time. So Hillary Clinton lost every single county, and she ended up losing the state in the general election by 0.9 percentage points. A lot of voters in these rural counties in 2016 went from Bernie to Trump. If those voters are already on the side of Biden, they're going to be voting for Biden in the general election most likely. So that is a very good sign for Joe Biden. He's proved that he can win in the Rust Belt, he's proved he can win in the Sun Belt, and he's proved he can win pretty much everywhere at this point. The only place he needs to prove that he can win is a state like New Hampshire. A state like Iowa, he can prove he can win in the Midwest. But he's proven he can win in the Rust Belt, and that's something that's going to be very beneficial to him. He won by a pretty substantial margin, too, 31 percentage points. And that's really good for him. He got 581,000 votes, too. So looking at the delegate count overall, Joe Biden's getting pretty close to the nomination, officially getting the nomination. He's 1,991. He's currently at 1,293. But that's the less important thing. Everybody knew he was going to win the primary. The more important thing that we have to look at is the Supreme Court result. So we have the incumbent Supreme Court Justice here, Daniel Kelly of the state of Wisconsin, the state Supreme Court in Wisconsin, going up against challenger Jill Karofsky. So Jill Karofsky is the liberal judge, Daniel Kelly is the conservative judge. In every model, pretty much, Daniel Kelly was favored to win. All the polls he was favored to win. And then he goes out and loses by 10 points, 11 points almost. And a funny thing is, if you compare it to 2018, it's pretty much the same margin. Tammy Baldwin won 55.4, 44.6. In the judge result, it was 55.3 to 44.7. So it's pretty much the same result that Tammy Baldwin won in the 2018 midterms. And this is a flip, too. And so just looking at the individual results here, if we look at the 2016 presidential results, you can see Wisconsin here. Look at this county down here, Kenosha County. This is a county that went to Obama both times. It's gone to the blue column for many years now. Kenosha County, Donald Trump wins it by 0.3 percentage points. In the Wisconsin Supreme Court, the liberal judge, Jill Karofsky, goes out there and wins it by 13.8 percentage points. 13.8 percentage points in a county that Donald Trump won. That flipped to the Democratic column. And it's not just all because of turnout. Obviously, one of the main reasons that the Democratic challenge, not Democrat, but the liberal challenger here did so well is that this is a Democratic primary day. This was a day that there was more news surrounding the Democratic primary than the fact that there was a judge election that mattered just as much. It mattered more. There was low turnout for the GOP. There was no presidential contest for them, although Donald Trump did have a lot of votes. And there was an emphasis on absentee balloting and mail-in voting, which does help Democrats overall. And so that's part of the reason that they won in the state. But if you look, there was about 1.5, 1.6 million votes here. 1.6 million votes. The Democratic primary only had, if we look at all the votes here, it only had about 809. It probably had about 900,000, and the overall here had about 1,500,000. So there was increased turnout amongst Democratic voters. That's for sure. But Democrats probably would have won the seat anyway if it was two competitive primary races. And the Democratic primary race wasn't even that competitive. A lot of voters didn't turn out. In places like Milwaukee, there were very few polling locations. And that's the place that the liberal judge did the best in. That's the place that Joe Biden did the best in. So this is not a good result for the GOP. It is not the ideal result that they wanted, and it is not the result that they're going to be looking for come November, because this is the state of the three Rust Belt states. You have Michigan, the three most important ones. You have Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Michigan is the most blue one. It's likely to go red even in a good scenario for Donald Trump when he wins. Pennsylvania, I would say at this point, is tilting to the blue column. Wisconsin, before this, I would say is tilting to the red column, but now Democrats have shown that they can win here. If we look at the 2018 result and we look at the governorships, you can see that the Democrats did flip a governorship in the state of Wisconsin. They beat Scott Walker by 1.1 percentage points. That was not very convincing for them because if you look at Michigan, Democrats won by almost 10 points. Gretchen Whitmer won. And while that was an open election, Wisconsin, it's a state that was the last state people thought would go red in 2016, and it's the state that Democrats are going to need to win at this point. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, this is not a good result for the GOP in any way whatsoever, no matter how you spin it. There are ways that you can kind of consolidate the fact that, sure, there was higher Democratic turnout. There was a lot of mail-in voting that might not be available in November. But this is a worrying sign for the GOP in a state that they have to win. Just to stress the importance of it being a state they have to win, this is the 2016 results. We see Democrats, Republicans, Donald Trump flipped Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, and that is it, and Maine's 2nd district. So for Democrats to win, they're probably going to win Michigan. They're probably going to win Pennsylvania. And at that point, they're at 268. You think they can win Nebraska 2nd, and it's a tie ball game. But really, the clearest path to victory is winning Wisconsin. If Democrats win Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, there's really not much way the GOP can win. They can win Nevada maybe, and they can win New Hampshire. That would be obviously a good sign for them to win. But I believe that winning Nevada is unlikely. So they can win New Hampshire. That would put it at 274 to 264, but that would still get Democrats to win. So they can win Nevada in that situation. They can lose all 3 of these states and still win it, but I don't think that's a likely scenario. If Democrats lose Wisconsin, they'd have to win a state like Arizona. That would put them over the top. But if they lose even Pennsylvania and they win Wisconsin and Arizona, that wouldn't be enough. So what they're going to need 2 of these 3 states at the very minimum, the bare minimum. They're going to need to get, so if we just put this back into the column right here, they'll pretty much get Michigan. And if they win Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, that's it. That is the clearest way to victory. Democrats have proven that they can win big in Michigan. They have proven they can win big in Pennsylvania, and those are 2 bluer states at this point than Wisconsin is. But if you have these Wisconsin Supreme Court results that look very promising for liberal judges, it proves that liberals can win in November as well in the House races, for the governorship, for the senators, and it proves that they can win in the presidential election, most importantly. So that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. That was the big news of the day. It's kind of gone undetected. I haven't really seen much about it on the news, but there is going to be a liberal judge in the state Supreme Court as well, and while it won't make too big of a difference, it is an important thing to watch out for. So thank you all for watching this video. This was a short video again. Just wanted to talk about the most recent news that came out. But yeah, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, and I will see you guys later.